Hey everyone, so today we're going to look at artificial intelligence, but not in the way you might be thinking. We're not talking to a coder or a tech CEO, we're looking at it through the eyes of a 75-year-old retired head teacher. It's all about what happens to our own creativity when a machine can, do the creating for us.
And that's really the big question here, isn't it? This isn't about learning to master some complicated software. It's about something much more human. It's what happens when a whole lifetime of wisdom and experience bumps up against the endless and, frankly, sometimes pretty weird world of AI. And this quote right here, it just nails it. This is from the guy who's going to be our guide today, Mike Jackson. He actually calls himself the AI Grandad. And his goal, well, it's not to become some tech whiz. It's just to stay curious and see what all this new stuff is about.
All right, so let's properly introduce the man who's taking us on this little adventure. Okay, so the first thing you really need to get about Mike is who he isn't. He's super clear about this. He is not a tech guru. He's a writer, an educator, someone who's spent his life with words, and he decided to dive into this whole AI world not because he had to, but just because he was curious. He wanted to see what it was all about. And this brings us to a feeling that I think a lot of creative people are wrestling with right now. I mean, what happens to your craft, to your art, when a machine can do a version of it in like 5 seconds? Mike has a great name for this, the writer's dilemma.
Anyone who's ever tried to write anything knows this feeling deep in their bones. That blank page, the blinking cursor, it's like your best friend and your worst enemy all at once. And for a writer like Mike, that was his space, a place where every single word was chosen carefully.
And this quote, wow, it just captures that feeling perfectly. That quiet moment of, what now? When an AI can just fill that blank page instantly, it makes you ask a really big question. What's my job here? Am I even needed anymore? Or is my role something totally different? But here's where the story takes a really cool turn. Instead of just sitting in that feeling of dread, Mike did something kind of brilliant. He just stopped trying to master the AI as a tool, and instead started treating it like a partner in just being silly. His whole experiment was pretty simple, really. He decided to try and give the AI a headache. He started feeding it these things he calls impossible prompts. Basically, questions and commands that are designed to totally break a logical, step-by-step way of thinking. I mean, just think about that for a second. How would you even begin to answer that? This is where the magic really is. It's not about getting the right answer. There is no right answer. It's about seeing what happens when you push the machine into a purely creative space.
Or what about this one? This is amazing. It's forcing the AI to think about how stories are built in a way that's totally upside down. It's not just spitting out data anymore. It's solving this little literary puzzle, performing these kinds of creative gymnastics.
And this one really just gets to the heart of what he was doing. By asking for something impossible, Mike completely changes the relationship. The AI isn't just a content-making machine anymore. It's an imaginative partner. It's about bringing back the fun, the play, the human side of making things.
And what started as just Mike messing around on his own didn't stay a solo project for long. This little personal experiment actually turned into the beginning of a whole community.
So, to get what happened next, you need to know this term, a drabble. It's a really simple but surprisingly tricky little format. It's a complete story with a beginning, middle, and end, told in exactly 100 words. Not 99, not 101, 100 on the dot.
So, Mike put these two ideas together and created the AI Drabble Challenge. The rules are so simple and inviting. Every week, he posts a prompt. It could be an image or a few words. You then work with an AI to create a 100-word story. And then you post your story and you talk about how you made it. That's it. So easy.
And the most important part of this whole thing is that it's not a competition. It's not about who wrote the best Drabble. It's a group experiment. The comments section becomes this incredible place where you can see all these different human AI teams at work. You get these wild sci-fi stories that came from a picture of a single rusty key, or these really moving little dramas sparked by one word. You get to see how different people talk to the AI and learn from how they do it. It's all about sharing the journey.
This quote from Mike just really puts everything into perspective, doesn't it? The stuff that feels so new and mind-blowing to us right now, for the next generation, it's just going to be another tool in the box. It'll be normal. This isn't some scary end to human art. It's just the start of a whole new chapter.
So, after all this playing around, all this community building, what's the big lesson here? What is our real job in a world with these incredibly smart machines? And here it is. This is the core idea from the AI Grandad. The tech is amazing.
It can generate sentences and pictures and ideas like you wouldn't believe. But the meaning, the purpose, the curiosity, that still comes from us. We're the ones who have to ask the interesting questions.
And that really just leaves us with one last question. For you, if you stop seeing AI as some kind of threat and start seeing it as a partner in play, what kind of impossible, wonderful, nonsensical thing will you and the machine create together?